welcome back. This is Startacus Chats at Digital DNA. Thanks ever so much for joining us today. And first up, we have Gemma Simpson from Diverse
Talent.
Oh, thank you.
What's
Gemma.
happening?
Yeah, lovely. And thanks ever so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your business. What are you up to?
Sure, so Diverse Talent is the very first diversity-driven recruitment platform about to be launched on the island of Ireland. So our business for the last 18 months has really been focusing on how can we solve diversity and inclusion in the workplace using technology. And we actually found that the north of Ireland is the only place in the UK that doesn't have a dedicated job searching platform that will allow job seekers to connect directly with employers that are invested in diversity and inclusion. So the full team have came together over the last 18 months, and we've now built our prototype, and it's due to launch in the next kind of 3 weeks. I hope.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
And when you talk about diversity and inclusion, Gemma, what does that mean? What type of values do people have when they talk about D&I?
Yeah, absolutely. So it really comes down to where a job seeker, what type of things do they look for in an employer? We already know with the after effects of COVID that people want to work in an environment that can support not just their career goals, but also a whole holistic version as well. So from my personal experience, being part of the LGBT community, I want to work for an employer that I feel safe and a place that I can be myself, that I can openly discuss, what I'm doing the weekend with my partner, or I can say girlfriend, and I'm not going to have snide comments in the background. That's an ethical employer that supports LGBT, that supports gender diversity throughout the business. Again, as a female entrepreneur, I've always wanted to work in an environment that has female leaders there that I can strive to work towards, that goal. And then one of the big things, and particularly for Northern Ireland, is about understanding religion as well. And I'm not just talking about our old traditional C versus P, but we have a multicultural workforce in Northern Ireland. And when we talk about people from different ethnicities, are we ready to actually provide them the safe spaces that they need, whether it's for Ramadan and for prayers, or making sure that kitchens are kosher to ensure that people from the Jewish faith as well are being supported. So diversity and inclusion is across an entire spectrum, and what our platform will allow job seekers to do is to connect directly with employers who can showcase and highlight these are our values, this is how we are building an ethical workplace. Maybe as well on the back of that they're accredited, and we're wanting to ensure that if you are accredited by Diversity Mark NI, B Corps, you're a top 100 company to work for, that you have as an employer a place to actually showcase that as well. So in a nutshell, Eva Jane, that's what diversity and inclusion means to us.
But you can feel the passion, and that's probably the most important part about any business, is feeling like you're building something which really matters.
Yeah.
In terms of that software, what's the software allowing, say, a job seeker or an employer to do?
Yeah, so as a job seeker, you'll actually be able to go online to the platform, create your own profile, and tailor it to yourself. So we wanted, first of all, to reduce unconscious bias through the recruitment process. So how we've done that is you can create the profile, select your avatar, something that relates to who you feel as a person. You won't be having to display your personal details as in your name, but what you will be able to display is your pronouns, your ethics. Perhaps you want to work remotely, so you can pick a badge for that. Perhaps, again, you want to work for a gender diverse company, you can click a badge for that. And then, of course, your skills and your salary expectations, and your profile can be live so that employers can find you, contact you, and organise either a general chat or an interview, but your name, your personal details won't be revealed until you're in that process. So you're only being critiqued, essentially, for your skill set. And then, obviously, the big part is that as a job seeker, you can go on to each individual employer's profile and you can audit them yourself. You can look going, are they a tech for good business? Or are they invested in different communities? Are they accredited? Yes, they are. Okay, I do want to apply for that job. And again, that will also help diversity in employers, because there's not really an online one-stop shop for employers who are investing time and money and resources to make sure that they are good places to work for. There is not really a place that is like an online market or an online community, and that's what we want to build, is the community piece.
I love that it's a two-way street. I think that's what kind of like strikes me, is because, dare I say, diversity and inclusion is becoming somewhat of a buzzword amongst employers. So it's lovely to hear that you're actually doing that due diligence to make sure any employers that you do take on board are genuinely those who do appreciate and value diversity.
Absolutely, yeah. And every employer that signs up to the platform, they have to go through our audit. So they actually have to provide evidence, whether that's through their benefits package, their accreditation certificates, their employee handbook as well. We want to see evidence. Why are you, diverse and inclusive? How are you? What are you doing differently? Because you're right, it is becoming a buzzword. You look at Pride Month, for example, in June. All the companies on LinkedIn are changing to the rainbow banner. That's great, and it is important to do that because it does showcase, okay, that company has changed their banner and they're talking about diversity, but deeds, not words. So what are you actually doing? Whenever I set up Diverse Talent, that was very much my goal, is like, yes, we are offering the traditional service at the moment in matching people with ethical employers, but how can we reinvest and build a platform so that we can automate our solution and give it to people to use, and so that's what we're at now.
Awesome. You just answered my last question, which
Did
was
I?
obviously around the validation bit, which I think is because it's very easy for someone saying they're doing something, but it's proof is in the pudding, isn't it? And that validation point that you mentioned is extremely important. So listen, that's Startacus Chats at Digital DNA. Thanks ever so much to Gemma from Diverse Talent for joining us for our first chat for the day. Find out more about Diverse Talent. How do you find out more about Diverse Talent?
You go to www.diversetalent.ai.
Happy days. Okay, good stuff. We'll be back in a moment.